back to the World Magic Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, here is David Merlini.
Liquid nitrogen is so cold with its temperature of minus 199 degrees, it would freeze almost immediately into stone. Regardless of its past, of its history, it will transform any organic material. We are ready. Let's begin.
Before anything else, at the outset of this enormous challenge, Merlini will be constrained in a regulation straitjacket. In a moment, he'll be put into a tank that will be filled with water and flash frozen. He'll have to hold his breath the entire time until he gets out. His assistants make sure that the restraint is securely fastened and will prevent Merlini from using his hands or arms. Next, Merlini gets into a casket-like tank that is made of tempered glass, held together with a steel frame. The tank has a volume of around 400 gallons. Once Merlini is securely inside the tank, the top panel is put in place and firmly fastened to seal the tank. In order for this to work, the tank has to be watertight. Metal pins are used to lock the lid to the frame. Now they wheel the tank over to the cryogenic system. This is where the extremely dangerous liquid nitrogen is stored and dispensed. Merlini uses these last few moments to super-oxygenate his blood supply. After this, he will not be able to breathe again until he has gotten out. Hoses are hooked up to begin filling the tank with water. Then liquid nitrogen is added to very quickly freeze the water into a solid block of ice. The pins are then ground into place to ensure they don't open prematurely. The water is now just about frozen. Now here as well, remember that David Merlini is a professional escape artist. A dangerous stunt like this should not be attempted by anyone without the proper training and safety certification. In other words, folks, don't try this at home either. The next job for the technicians is to get the tank into position so they can raise it up. The lid can now be safely removed as most of the water inside has been turned to ice. Once they get the tank into position, they can begin raising it up. As the tank is mostly full, it now weighs over 1,600 pounds, 3/4 of a ton. As it is raised, any remaining water can drain out. Once the tank is upright, the technicians can remove the other glass and steel panels. All that is left is the solid block of ice that Merlini is frozen into. Keep in mind that he has not been able to breathe since the tank was filled. Now the techs fire the outside of the block with giant blowtorches. This melts the outer layer off the block. The next part can be real tricky. One of the technicians will score the giant ice block with a chainsaw. One false move, and Merlini will be cut up like a chunk of frozen meat. Remember, he's still holding his breath. Now they take a pair of sledgehammers and try to crack the block along the score lines. Again, they have to be careful not to smash too hard, or they'll crack Merlini's skull. How can he still be alive in that block of solid ice? And he doesn't. And he's got the straitjacket off as well. Winner of the award for Best Escape Artist, David Merlini.